Make a video on perfect validators to stake tokens, Atom, Juno, Osmo Stars, and minimum amount to stake to be eligible for majority of airdrops in future. Because I have many confusions, your work will be loved. Many of my friends have same doubt too. Indian bot. I have the same doubt too, mate. Indian bot. Bot. You're not supposed to be here. What are you doing here? There's no such thing as perfect validators. But that's a good question. So Guru, this is for you. A video on validators because it's a good question. I'll try my best to address validators, right? Good and bad. Minimum amount to stake to be eligible for majority of airdrops. It's a difficult question because it depends on the projects. They have their requirements, right? And it varies. And on top, I want to add a few other things. Governance proposal, why it's important. Spreading and going out of the top 10 and 20, making it more decentralized. And also validators bribing, or just bribing and giving you extra tokens just for delegating to them, just for the sake of it, all right? But before I get into the topic, quick disclaimer, I don't want you to get influenced by what I show you. I'm here to educate and entertain, and based on the information I provide, you make your own decision. Now I'll tell you why I'm saying this. I'm taking Stargaze as an example for this case. All right, Osmosis, Stargaze, Juno, EMOS, they probably have similar sets of validators. Okay, pretty common. You'll see all of these similar ones: PubMos, Notional, Bro and Bro, Larry Engineer, France, Cosmos Station. Obviously, these are on top 10s, right? And over here, if you notice, and if you ask me, Rebel, why them? And I'll explain in a bit. Okay, but why not these? There's so many others, right? Why not them? Why only them? Let's talk about why not them first. All right, first. Omniflix network. I don't know much about them. I never bought them, never got into the ecosystem. Too much for me. So can't relate to them. So yeah, that's why I'm not delegating to them. But if you can relate to them, if you're in the ecosystem and you want to support them, delegate to them. If their views align with yours, then delegate to them. Right? And sure, nothing wrong with keeping it a few on the top 10 and then go beyond it. Because if you look, I have a mixed sets. Notional, Oni, Bro, Larry, some of them are way beyond, right? PubMos is in 35, Batcase is in 34, Oni 42, Whisper Node 39, right? There's several other decent ones which I'm probably gonna miss out right now, and I'm not here to review them individually, okay? Because I don't know them personally. And I always mention the best way, so I'm taking stars as an example, as I said, okay? Now let me tell you, Bro, just giving you an example, why did I choose them? Cyril one, well, obviously top 10. I like their stuff. Bad Kids, cool stuff. I like their NFTs. I have their NFTs. PubMos, cool dog. Notional, Jacob, right? Good dude. Larry Engineer, he contributed a lot in Terra ecosystem. Friends, well, fair enough. Cosmos Station, they have their wallet and stuff. And again, they're top first. They're top number 1, right? And then Bro, I use their chart. If you notice, I actually, right? I've used their Juno chart. I've used their EMOS, just for the sake of it, give and take, right? Then you have, yeah, that's all I have here. And if you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah, I like to keep it in 10. 10, 15, it's fine. So, you know, spread around and across. You don't have to do it with one individual validators. Okay, so there's several others here which are decent enough, but the ones you have to be careful of are which are way beyond. I don't think I can show you here. It's called inactive sets. Okay, make sure they're in the active sets here. You see this over here? It says active and inactive. Jailed. Yeah, stay away from inactive and jailed. These are jailed for a reason. They're bad people. Bad delegators. I mean, validators. All right. Then we have inactive ones. Yeah, make sure you stay away from all of these. All right. Active 130. And I also mentioned, how do you find out about them if they're good or bad? Well, you can't really find out if they're really good or bad, but they always will have some sort of social presence. So if you want to check them out, they have a Discord. The Bro, they have a website. All right, they'll tell you what they're doing. Go on their Twitter page, See how much they contribute to the network. Look, they all have pretty much Twitter account. Okay, see what they're up to. All right, this guy's trying to contribute or whatever. Right, November 5th. Committee, are you interested in what stuff you valid to do? Just want to ask your thoughts. Possible in the chain, can share. Active, trying to contribute. Just saying. All right, not trying to change the world, trying to contribute to some extent and not going against humanity. All right, it's not about how much they're contributing. First, figure out if they're going against humanity. If they are, they should be out. All right, first, that's the biggest concern. All right, so don't want to drag this all the way because I know I go on a tangent. But here's the deal. Okay, bad kids. I explained all these things. Now, come back to the topic of minimum amount. Oh, another thing before I get off the validators, some of them will bribe you. Hey, I think you should delegate to us because we'll give you some tokens. It's okay. If, sometimes it's a bribe because it's not fair. Because if they bribe you and you keep delegating to them, you're making it more centralized by giving them more power, which is not so cool. All right. So I don't really delegate to them for airdrops. I do it because I want to support the ecosystem. Okay. And there is this thing, individual airdrops, if a validator decide to give you, that's a different thing. But if you're staking 10,000 and breaking them all apart and a project decides to give a stake drop for 10,000, so it doesn't matter if you break it apart in 10 different validators, all right, it still counts as the whole ecosystem. But if a particular chain validator wants to give you airdrop for whatever reasons, like that's for specifically delegating to them, that's a different story. Someone asked me, hey, what if I break it apart? For example, you can see here, 6,000, 6,000, 6,000, right? So if somebody wants to give me, if I get a stake drop from a project, so let's say 10,000 Juno, 10,000 stars, they'll count all of them together, whatever it has. It has about 40,000. So it'll count all stake drop, 40,000. So they'll give me airdrop based on the 40,000 stars I have. Make sense? If not, put in the comments and I'll make it, I'll simplify it. All right. That's it. So stay away from jailed, stay away from inactive sets, and try to diversify. If you notice, literally, yeah, Citadel 1 on top 10. We have Cosmos Station on top 10, right? And there are several others which Larry's in also top 10. But beside that, all of my others are actually out, right? King Nose is decent. I don't know much about any. Gelato, Slash Protected. There's several others, okay? Just research, check on their website, Crew Validators. They have contributed to the, actually we'll delegate to them. They contributed quite a bunch to the Terra network. So yeah, I'll contribute, I'll delegate to them. All right. Oni, I probably don't know much about, but I heard about them recently. So sure. And now coming back to, well, okay. So solved the first thing. Second thing about the airdrop, right? Refer to Cosmos pugs, because the problem here is you asked me about the minimum stake, right? I can explain that. For Kuva, 10 Atom, 58 Moss, 10 Juno. For them, these are the requirements. Some project would say 20 Atom, 50, 100 EVE Moss. That could be it. Right? So different projects have different requirements. All right. So this is a very difficult question to answer. The more you have, the better it is. All right. The top, EVE Moss, Atom, Juno, Stars. Yeah, and a couple others probably. But these will probably qualify you for most of the airdrops in the ecosystem. Skip stacking because that's what it is. But minimum, maybe 100, 100, 100, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. There's no minimum. That's the answer. All right. Now, so airdrop taken care of. Just refer to cosmospugs.com. Check on the whatever airdrops. I don't talk about a lot because a lot of them are garbage. But I always mention the ones which make sense to me, and I tell you the requirements. Okay. But you can refer to this if you want to check it out. All right, so that's out. Now, I want to show you this as well. This is important. Governance. Because if some, I know a lot of you might not care about this because it's all about money and airdrops, because it is. But also, you have to know what the validators are doing with our money as well, right? So that's why you have to participate in voting and stuff. And over here, if you go to, let's say this is EVMOS, okay? I'm taking EVMOS as an example. Voting period. This is a new one right now. And you can say this has been rejected. So now, for example, let's say I'm just giving you a total, it's an example, okay? Not my view at this moment. So for example, current turnout, right? So you can see clearly it's in green, pass, status. Over here, if you go to votes, yes, no, no with videos. Validator votes, yes. So if I agree with this, all right, author, so he's taking. ERC 20% for injective. They want to bring injective in the EVMOS ecosystem, all right? If I agree to this, I would say yes. I would vote yes, right? However, so let's say I agree with this, yes. I'm gonna go and see who said no. A lot of them, but I don't want to know these. I want to know the validators because I'm delegating to them, right? No, nobody said no. Nobody said no with Vido. So it looks like everybody agrees to this. We are on the same line, which means EcoStake, yeah, I'll support you. Like, you know what I mean? So obviously you will see a lot of them have no's in the future. And then if you're on the yes side and you have a lot of no's and you're delegating to them, then maybe reevaluate. Hey, I'm delegating to these validators, but our views don't align. These guys keep going against my views. So, you get the point. So then you redelegate to somebody else who actually you can relate to. And this is minscan.io, right? So that's important. And this was an example. You'll have these proposals on almost every single chains. On Comdex or Desmos or, man, I haven't played with any others besides just a few I talk about, Juno and all this stuff, right? But yes, that's what it is. Okay? So I tackled that, and that's all I have. Pretty much explained everything. All right, Guru? So let me know. Talked about the importance of spreading, going out of top 10 and 20 as well. It's not impossible. Check on their Twitter page, see how much they contribute and all this stuff. Quick recap, right? And then second, eligible, minimum eligible. There's no minimum. Depends on the projects. Every project is different and have different requirements, right? And third, I talked about the importance of voting and participating and also looking at those validators, okay? Once in a while, keep an eye on the sets. If they become inactive, you have to redelegate to somebody else who's active, or else you won't be earning rewards. It doesn't happen that often, right? But yeah, something to be, to note. So that's all I have. If you have any questions, put in the comments. I did my best to explain. I know. And I'll see you in the next video.